So take a moment to just feel these states in you. How do you get triggered? Do you tend to fight? Do you tend to flee? Not deal with things? Do you tend to freeze? What is your most habitual way of responding or reacting to danger, perceived danger for you? And keep in mind that in our modern time, this happens through the perception of social danger. We rarely have situations where our actual physical life is at stake. It's more in interactions in the social arena. And in our brainstem, we are also regulating the states of safety. So if we feel safe, and if we're feeling safe, then a whole array of things are going to open up in the body. The hearing, we can hear different frequencies. We are more open to others. We are perceiving more the signals coming from others. We have space to notice that. We're open-hearted, we're more flexible, and we are more ready to create or to receive. So again, check from the inside, being at your brainstem. Check on the feeling of safety. How does that feel to you? Information is coming from all parts of the body to give you the sense of safety, including the limbic system and including the cortex. All right, let's just open the eyes. So here we are in our brain stem. So I'm going to take you in and out in these three different structures. And again, I much rather that we have an experiential relationship to the topic rather than a dry anatomy lesson. We don't really need that. But here's a brainstem, just for a visual in the slide, coming from below the spinal cord and opening to those baseline areas of function. Okay. And then the next thing is going to be, we're going to go into the limbic system. And close your eyes one more time. And I want you to bring your perception, your self-perception, to the very center of your brain, deep in your brain. Our limbic system has three areas: the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the hypothalamus that regulates endocrine function. But it doesn't matter to you the names, but I want you to just be in that center universe, and here we are at the area of all the feelings and emotions. All your feelings are processed in collaboration, in exchange with the brainstem from below, all the body coming from the periphery, and from the cortex coming from above. Everything coming through that deep center of your brain, giving you all the array of feelings and emotions. And then that coming out from there in the form of nerve impulses or chemicals, making your body do things. It's a very fast processing, and it always searches for past experiences with a similar thing that we are facing in that moment. What do we know about this from our past? And whatever experiences in our past are going to dictate the current processing of feelings and emotions. How motivated we are is processed also in this area. The meaning we give to things, the value, what's important, what's not, coming through this area. And our relationships, the way we attach or connect to others. So take a moment to just be in your limbic system and be with this universe of emotions and feelings. In some of us, they are very, very at the forefront in our daily life. For others, we tend to hold and kind of keep inside. Sometimes we have a difficulty to even connect to those feelings and emotions. So how is it in you? Do they feel like they overwhelm you and they take you to react in many, many different ways? Always kind of at the mercy of reacting to the emotions? What is this space that they have in your life? Okay, let's open the eyes. So here we are in the limbic system. If you see the diagram, there in the center, there in red. And the three areas, amygdala, hippocampus, and hypothalamus. And what's interesting, I want us to give you a list, is the 8 universal emotions across cultures. Sorry, there's a typo there. Across cultures. Doesn't matter what the culture is, there are 8 basic emotions as expressed through our facial muscles and expression. Sadness, worry, shame, anger, excitement, disgust, fear, and joy. That's our menu that is just universal through all cultures, human beings. And let's go to our most interesting part, because that's where we can actually have a say. In a way, the first 2 we are at the mercy of, right? And the cortex gives us our higher functions and the capacity to remodulate the brain. So prefrontal cortex, let's close the eyes one more time. So we have all this outer cover of the brain. But I want you to focus in particular on the front part of your cortex. So where your forehead is, above your eyes, all the area of the front. So come with your awareness to your prefrontal cortex. We can basically divide the brain in the back of the brain, the front of the brain, and the prefrontal cortex. So for a moment, just to give you a correlation, go to the back of your brain, and there you have the processing of complex sensorial perceptions like hearing and seeing. The visual cortex is all located in that area. And the front of the brain has more to do with motor functions, movement, also on the side of the brain, thinking, planning, rational activities and processes. And now coming back to that prefrontal cortex, all the way to the front. Because this is the part that relates to awareness. And this is the part that we are very interested, so we can develop our perception, but also because now we know that we can actually, through the neuroplasticity of the brain, we can rewire it. So we can use awareness to shape the activity of our brain. That's the beauty. We can use our mind to create our brain. So when we are here in the prefrontal cortex, and this correlates with the regulation of all other systems. So we balance how much we turn on, how much we turn off. How much we switch on the fight or flight, how much we switch off. We can regulate that from here. How we tune into others, the feeling of empathy, the capacity to connect to someone else or to the environment and feel it. Also, this area we can modulate the limbic system, so we can modulate our reactions in our limbic system, our fear responses. So just stay in the frontal area. Feel how you can actually command your reactions in the limbic and in the brainstem. In our prefrontal cortex, we also relate to the function of intuition. So the wisdom of our body coming and feeding into the brain. And intuition is the body coming into the brain. So I want you to make a nice connection in your feeling between the wisdom and the information stored in your body and your brain. Let's make a nice link. In Being Energy, we are very interested in the total perception. That is a perception where brain and body are working in tandem. And lastly, also in our prefrontal cortex, I want you to connect to what we could say the self-awareness, the insight, the capacity to be aware of what is happening inside of your body, what is happening inside of your brain, to be aware of yourself. Okay, open your eyes.